Big spoilers for Elbath ahead. However, if you don't know, Emu has dropped down. We have a face for Emu right now. However, somebody on Discord tagged me with this post from X talking about the hand gesture that Emu makes when they are fighting Zoro, called Omen. Okay, so here's the interesting thing. This could be a reference from yoga because the person makes the point that the hand gesture that Emu performs is very similar to a hand gesture in yoga. Said hand gesture translates to remover of obstacles, which makes a lot of sense because Zoro was an obstacle that was removed. But also, it symbolizes the unity of fire and air, increases concentration and creativity, and symbolizes the unity of universal and individual consciousness. So that's a bit of a ponder to think about. That's actually pretty neat. I do wonder if this was the inspiration for Emu's moveset. Now, in a video that we did a little while ago, we also talked about how Emu might have the devil fruit that I'm calling the Bat Fruit mythical model Baphomet. And the interesting thing about the Baphomet is that in its symbol, it too is holding its hands in very interesting ways. So I don't know if these two things are going to come together as one in Emu, but if they do, I could kind of see that being a possibility. Because even though the hand gesture of the Baphomet isn't the exact same as the hand gesture that we're seeing with Emu in this chapter, it's close. So I could see maybe that the hand gesture that the Baphomet is doing is a hand gesture that Emu does later on. Don't know, but it's something to keep an eye out on. Now, in talking about Emu's body specifically, it's very interesting that they have all these inscriptions and polka dots all along their body. This reminded me of the body painting called Mendi, which is this impermanent body tattooing that you see in a lot of South Asian cultures, right? So I don't know if this is the inspiration for all the inscriptions on Emu's body, but it gives me a very similar vibe for just how detailed a lot of the symbols and patterns are. Even though a lot of them are just polka dots, still, it's very interesting. So I wonder if how they look is related to that. It really does stir the mind up and make you think. So, another odd thing that I talk about in my coverage of chapter 1181 is that it's kind of weird that when we see Emu as they normally are, the only thing that we're allowed to see is their eyes, right? Their eyes are always on full display. This has led to a number of other theories. However, what's weird is that once we see Emu in the flesh in this supposed hybrid state of their mythical Zoan fruit, presumably, one eye is obscured by their long hair. And I'm wondering why that is, because this marking on their face we see sometimes is going around their eye. So what is the purpose of keeping this eye in particular obscured? Does it lead to anything? Do they have a weird swirly eyebrow? I don't know, but it makes you think, why do it here when it's not done in their usual state? And also, we don't know if the full B state is affected because in the fight with Sabo, at least in the anime, the eyes seem to remain the same. So I don't know. I really don't. It's very odd, but it does make you wonder what's going to become of Emu in the future regarding all this information. Why do they have these body symbols? Are these body symbols specifically from the devil fruit, or do they have these things normally? Because it's kind of hard to tell because body markings usually transfer over when the Zoan transforms. You see this with Lucy with his big back scar. You see this with Luffy when he becomes Gear 5th, his scars don't change. He can peel them off and peel them back on, but they don't necessarily change. So it's weird to really think about if these things are from Imu's devil fruit or if Imu just has them on their body all the time. So with that being said, that's all I have for today. If you are enjoying the video so far, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more from me, hit the subscribe button, followed by that bell so you never miss a video. In addition, could you please hit the hype button because it does help somehow. With that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede Rex.